Now, before getting into some of the other features and devices that have been added, let's talk about the grid and how this really forms quite a basis with Bitwig and its modular environment. So to get to the grid, let me just add a new instrument. So I'm going to go for my instruments, and what I'm looking for is the polygrid. Now I'm going to open that, and what you see is an instrument over here. If I play back, now here we've got the grid. So if I click on this, it's going to open up this modular grid. And what you can do here is you can build up devices, connect them to each other to build up your own modular instruments. And what's really cool is you can use the MSEGs in a modular way in this view over here that's not quite possible here when you're just chaining things together. But first, let's talk about the routing of the grid. So what we got here is we've got an oscillator that's going into an envelope generator and then out to an audio output. So over here, it's using the shape over here. So that's the synth, but I can actually change the wave shapes. So that's going for a square waveform, where over here, I'm going for a triangular waveform. I can also right click on it and replace it with other types of wave shapes. So I'm going to change it to a sine. So I've got a sine wave here where I can skew the shape. If you look at the shape, and then this is going into my ADSR filter where I can change the attack. So that's a slower attack on there. Now, what I want to show you is how you can use an MSEG and go into this and modulate it in a different way. So what I'm going to do is if I go to my LFOs, I can see here is my curves MSEG. I can drag this on here onto the grid, and then I can chain this into my oscillator. Now, what you've seen previously is if I just click on this, I can choose to modulate a parameter. So I'm taking that skew here, and if I just click off, that's modulating it. And that's just how I showed you in the previous video. But you can actually do some other things. So for example, if I click on this sine waveform over here and I click on the show help, you can see the routing options that you have with this oscillator. So I've got the retrigger option that can be patched into here. I can change the phasing if I patch it into here, and then I can also modulate the pitch. So let's try that out. So I'm going to add another instance of curves. I'm going to leave it with its default view here, and I'm going to take this and connect it to the pitch. And when I move this, you can see that the pitch is being modulated by this shape over here. I can go in and change the shape. So let's say we go for something and draw in a different shape. Or I could actually maybe choose from some of the customization shapes over here. And what I can also do is I can still do the modulation via this. So I'm going to click on this and modulate the skew. So what's possible in the grid is you're able to choose a parameter to modulate with an MSEG. Plus you can take the MSEG and route it into some of these other inputs on devices within the grid here. So this grid just opens up a lot more possibilities of things that you can do with your audio and building up your devices and your signal chain. And we're going to be definitely looking at other ways that we can incorporate the grid throughout this video series.